Do you feel that your legs no longer obey you like they used to? Have you ever been afraid that you might no longer be able to walk without pain, or that you might lose the freedom to come and go? Unfortunately, this is the reality for millions of people in old age. Studies from the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity reveal that more than 60% of seniors suffer from chronic leg pain caused by poor circulation, muscle weakness, and joint degeneration. Ignoring these signs can lead to falls, loss of mobility, and physical dependence within a few years. But what if I told you that there are simple, natural, and scientifically proven habits that can strengthen your legs, improve circulation, and eliminate this pain, restoring the freedom you thought you had lost? Today, you will hear the emotional story of Dona Bianca, a woman who faced intense leg pain, but found in consistency and natural wisdom the path to regain her strength, her mobility, and her joy of living. If you or someone you love is suffering from leg pain, don't miss any detail of this story. It could be the beginning of a new life for you. Dona Bianca was always a woman full of energy. She loved walking through the neighborhood streets, tending to the flowers in her yard, and going out with friends in the late afternoon. She was proud of her autonomy, of the ease with which she did everything alone, even after turning 80. But little by little, something began to change. At first, it was just small discomforts in her legs, a feeling of heaviness at the end of the day, a tingling she tried to ignore. She attributed it to the heat, to tiredness, and believed that a good rest would solve it. Over time, however, the discomfort turned into pain that started in her feet and climbed up her calves, leaving her legs stiff, tired, heavy like lead. Simple activities began to become challenges. Climbing a few steps felt like scaling a mountain. Walking to the bakery became an exhausting task. Even getting up from a chair required an effort she never thought she would have to make. The worst moment came on a Sunday afternoon. While walking in the park with her granddaughter, she felt such a sharp pain in her legs that she had to sit on the ground without the strength to continue. She looked at the little girl, saw the fear on her face, and at that moment felt the weight of something that terrified her, the loss of her freedom. It was there, sitting on the grass, that Dona Bianca made a decision. She would not accept that reality. She would not surrender to the pain. She would do whatever it took to regain her strength and the joy of walking. And that's how the transformation that would change her life forever began. The 6 habits that restored the joy in Dona Bianca's legs and life. Habit 1. The morning ritual that woke her legs back to life. Dona Bianca's first step toward regaining her legs was simpler than she imagined. It wasn't an expensive medication, nor an intense exercise. It was the adoption of a small ritual that completely changed the rhythm of her days, activating circulation right after waking up. It was her physiotherapist, Dr. Enrique, who explained, "Bianca, before starting the day, you need to remind your body that it's alive. Circulation must be awakened, especially in the legs, to prevent pain, stiffness, and swelling." The guidance seemed simple, but it held powerful science behind it. Studies published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology show that moving the legs during the first few minutes of the morning stimulates venous circulation, activates the calf muscle pump, and reduces the sensation of heaviness and pain in the legs throughout the day by up to 35%. Dona Bianca then created her new ritual. Before even getting out of bed, she would slowly move her ankles in circles, first one way, then the other. She would gently flex and extend her knees as if pushing an imaginary pedal. With her legs stretched out, she would contract and relax the muscles of her thighs and calves, feeling the blood flow. All of this took only 3 to 5 minutes. At first, it seemed like too small a gesture to make a difference. But within a few days, Dona Bianca felt her legs lighter when getting up. The morning stiffness diminished, and the sensation of locking, which used to scare her as soon as she woke up, began to disappear. It was as if she were reigniting the vital energy of her legs every morning. A small act of love that prepared her body for another day of active, pain-free life. Habit 2. The silent strengthening that brought firmness back to her legs. Despite the first improvements, Dona Bianca knew she needed more than just stimulating circulation. If she wanted to walk safely and without pain, she would need to strengthen the muscles that supported her legs. It was during a rehabilitation session that she heard the advice that would change her destiny. Bianca, strong legs are not built in a hurry. They are sculpted through consistency every day with small but powerful gestures. The explanation was clear. With age, the natural loss of muscle mass, called sarcopenia, reduces leg strength, compromises balance, and increases the risk of falls and pain. Studies published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy show that light strengthening exercises, performed regularly, can increase leg muscle strength in seniors by up to 40%, drastically reducing pain and limitations. Determined, Dona Bianca adopted a simple but powerful plan. Sitting down and standing up from a chair without using her hands, slowly, 10 times a day, raising her heels, standing on tiptoes, and then slowly lowering, strengthening her calves, squeezing a soft ball between her knees for 5 seconds and relaxing to activate the inner thigh muscles. They weren't complicated movements, they were acts of rebuilding. Each day she felt her legs getting firmer. Each week she climbed steps more easily. Each month she felt less pain and more freedom. The silent strengthening became the solid foundation upon which she rebuilt her autonomy, step by step, movement by movement. Habit 3. The golden food that restored vigor to her legs. Sometimes life changes with things we've always had around us, but never truly valued. That's what happened with Dona Bianca on an ordinary morning, sitting at the table with her daughter. "Mom, why don't you start eating more bananas and avocados? You need potassium, magnesium. Your legs will thank you." She smiled, skeptical. Bananas and avocados? That simple? But she decided to give it a try. Little did she know that hidden there was one of the greatest secrets for those suffering from leg pain. Potassium helps prevent cramps and improves muscle contraction. Magnesium relaxes blood vessels, improves circulation, and reduces the sensation of heaviness and fatigue. Studies from the Nutrients Journal show that deficiency of these minerals is one of the main causes of leg pain in the elderly. Dona Bianca then created a new ritual. In the morning, she ate a ripe banana. In the afternoon, a generous spoonful of avocado, either pure or mixed with lemon. No effort, no sacrifice. And little by little, something magical began to happen. The nighttime cramps decreased. The heaviness in her legs disappeared. Strength, that forgotten strength, began to be reborn. With each bite of fruit, it was as if she were planting life into her veins, muscles, and the blood that now ran strong again. She discovered that healing often isn't found in pharmacies. It's in the simplicity of the earth, in the kindness of fruits, in the love with which we choose to nourish ourselves. Habit 4. The bath of life that revived her sleeping legs. Some afternoons, Dona Bianca felt as if her legs were made of stone, heavy, hard, unresponsive. It was on one of these afternoons, during a casual conversation with her neighbor, Dona Teresa, that she heard something she would never forget. "Bianca, warm water and cold water can work miracles. Let nature wake up your legs." Intrigued, she decided to try it. The method was simple: contrast baths, warm water to dilate the blood vessels and boost circulation, cold water to contract, tone, and relieve invisible inflammation that was stealing her vitality. And more than that, the contrast between heat and cold taught her legs to react, to pulse strongly, as if remembering forgotten youth. Studies from the Journal of Vascular Medicine show that regular practice of contrast baths can improve blood flow to the extremities by up to 35% and reduce leg pain associated with circulatory problems. Dona Bianca then created her small ritual. She filled 2 buckets, one with warm water and the other with cold water. She immersed her legs in the warm water for 3 minutes, then quickly switched to the cold water for 1 minute. She repeated this cycle 3 times, always finishing with cold water to tone the tissues. At first, she found the sensation strange. The thermal shock felt like a conversation between her forgotten cells. But soon, she learned to love that ritual. She felt her legs vibrate, the blood flowing freely, bringing life where there once was heaviness and pain. It was like being reborn, one afternoon at a time. And so, in the simplicity of water, she found a remedy that no pharmacy could sell, the rebirth of her own body. Habit 5. The slow steps that led Dona Bianca back to freedom. There was a time when Dona Bianca believed that to heal, she needed to make great efforts. Crowded gyms, complicated machines, long walks that exhausted more than they helped. Until one morning, under a blue sky, walking slowly to the neighborhood square, she understood. Healing lives in small but consistent steps. She was guided by her doctor. Bianca, walking every day, even if it's just 5 minutes, is better than tiring yourself out once a week. And it made sense. Legs need to be reminded every day that they were born to move. It doesn't matter the speed, it doesn't matter the distance. What matters is consistency. Studies published in the Journal of Geriatric Rehabilitation confirm that daily walks, even light ones, can improve peripheral circulation by up to 45%, reduce inflammation, and strengthen leg muscles in the elderly. Dona Bianca then made a new promise, not a sacrifice, not a marathon, but a daily tribute to her body. Every day after her breakfast, she would leave the house and walk, first around the garden, then to the gate, then a lap around the block. Some days that was it, other days a little more. And over time, she noticed, the pain diminished, fatigue gave way to lightness, and most beautifully, the joy of walking returned, like an old friend reunited. Dona Bianca learned that slow steps, taken with love, go farther than hurried steps taken out of obligation. It was consistency, not haste, that restored life to her legs. Habit 6. The elixir of living legs and the touch that awakened circulation. When she thought she had already done everything she could, Dona Bianca found one more secret. Simple, accessible, and powerful. The elixir of living legs, a special drink combined with a gentle technique that reactivated her circulation. The recipe came from an old notebook of natural remedies that her granddaughter found in a second-hand bookstore. The elixir of living legs. Ingredients: 1 glass of warm water, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, juice of half a fresh lemon, 1 teaspoon of pure honey, a pinch of black pepper to activate the turmeric. Preparation method: mix everything until homogeneous and drink it in the morning on an empty stomach 3 to 4 times a week. Why? Turmeric reduces inflammation in muscles and joints. Lemon activates circulation and alkalizes the blood. Honey provides natural energy. And black pepper enhances the absorption of turmeric by up to 20 times. Studies from the Journal of Medicinal Food show that consuming turmeric combined with light physical stimulation can reduce muscle pain and improve vascular function in seniors. But Dona Bianca didn't stop there. While drinking her elixir, she practiced a gesture she had learned from her physiotherapist. With her hands, she gently massaged her legs, from bottom to top in circular motions, stimulating venous circulation. No expensive creams were needed, just the combination. The warmth of the touch, the stimulation of the skin, the strength of the blood flowing again. In just a few minutes, her legs would awaken. The tingling sensation disappeared, and a new energy would emerge, as if the legs, dormant for years, were coming back to life. The elixir of living legs and the loving touch to her own body became her most powerful ritual.